Coach, we'll start with you. Can you just give us some thoughts and feelings on the result of that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fight. You know, I've been talking about it all year, and the resiliency of the group and the togetherness. You know, just to be able to weather that storm, and I just loved our response coming out of halftime. Like, there was no panic. You know, just talked through a couple things, couple of adjustments, couple key points that, you know, we weren't really sound on in the first half, and you know, we come out 29-15, you know, in that third quarter, and wind up holding them to 26 points in the second half. You know, it was really impressive effort by us.
Somebody have a question?
Who do you, anything you felt that you really nailed tonight that you were excited about seeing some improvement on?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, I go down, you know, kind of on the individual part and the scheme of the game, and, you know, we hold Parker to 7-22, and, you know, Tristan has really stepped up in this time for us defensively. You know, he's given us a point of attack defender that, you know, we really lost with Sam McDaniel and Mitch Norton being out. You know, and it took us a little bit to find that. And, you know, Tristan, you know, for a young player to hold players of this caliber and make them work and, you know, play 30 minutes on the road, like, it's just it's a big time performance, and I'm really happy for him. He puts the work in. And I just go down the line, like Tane Murray, you know, local, like, he grew up in this gym, you know, and he's a plus 11 for us in a game where we have the lead for 1 minute and 23 seconds. So it's just impact and winning basketball. Casey gets 12 boards. You know, Ty will be the first to tell you maybe didn't have the best first half there, but comes out and just totally dominates the second half of the game. You know, I think Menenga has, you know, 4 or 5 points in the second half. So, again, just the resiliency of the group. You know, Lamar coming in and just playing, you know, big, timely minutes, like just important buckets, like understands the moment of when, you know, when we need it. So just, again, going down the list, I mean, I can shout out every single guy, you know, on the roster that, like, had some level of contribution, you know, to it. But it starts on the defensive end. I mean, again, 26 points in the second half for New Zealand. Like, you know, if we can get that type of effort, you know, throughout the course of the game, then I really like where we're at.
Coming up to November and the back half of the year, what do you think your focus will be on to really tighten up for as we head into that phase?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we play basically 6 guys, but nobody actually plays over 31 minutes. So I thought, you know, the staff, you know, we did a really good job of trying to keep those rotations quick. I mean, we certainly need some bodies, you know, where, you know, help is on the way in different forms right now. So we're really excited, you know, about that, and the experience that some of these guys are getting now. It's only going to make our team, you know, stronger down the stretch. And, you know, if we can just continue to be, you know, locked in defensively with effort and communication, and then just, you know, maybe a little bit more poise offensively, you know, moving the ball. Like I keep telling the guys, like, man, basketball can be so simple at times. And, you know, if you just trust it and you play for your teammates, you move the ball, you know, you shift that defense, you know, it gets you good shots on offense, and it doesn't put as much pressure on your defense coming back the other way. And I thought that's what was happening in the first half. We've had a little bit of a tendency of, like, when we get down, you know, trying to get it all back so quick, and then it just spirals from there. And, you know, some of that's just experience. You know, we're playing young guys, you know, at key positions, certainly in the backcourt. So that learning experience, I think, is only making us better as we go.
Yeah, over to you, Chris.
I'll start with you, Tyrell. You can clearly see the spirit within this playing group. I mean, you look at the way you go and win turns against the odds, and you don't do that unless it's a close playing group, and you push Melbourne as close as anybody has as well. Then you come back like you did in the second half tonight. Can you explain the belief and the I guess the camaraderie you've got within this group?
Yeah, like, we've had a pretty interesting start to the season with all these injuries, and yeah, but you know, with all of these key players going down for us, like, we've had some chats as a team, and just everyone just taking that 1% forward and taking a step up and just filling in the missing keys like shoes. But yeah, like, again, like, we want to go out there, play super physical, and really test other teams. Something that we haven't done for a while, I feel like. And then, yeah, like again, just super proud of the boys in the second half and just how we go away about just how we play, really. But yeah, just proud of the boys.
I mean, it's great to score and it's great to do things that show up on the box score. I don't even know if you get credited for those two tips at the end of the game, but what's the feeling like when you know that you've been able to make key plays like that, like just tapping the ball in the ring that helps you win a game of basketball?
I was just in the right place at the right time, and then I guess everything else is second nature from there for me.
Yeah, I mean,
How do you feel in
I was gonna say he's had a couple of these throughout the course of the year, and it's like Tyrell's defensive presence for us. You said it there, Chris. It doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but we don't hold the team to 26 points in the second half without an anchor like this back there.
I mean, the other big play late was the block as well from Tane. And I mean, what adjustments did you make, Stu, defensively after half time? I mean, you locked out Sam and you locked out Parker for a lot of the game, really. What adjustments did you make at half time? Yeah,
I think it was just, we talked about their defense, our defensive transition. I believe they're number 1 or 2 in pace in the league. So they're playing fast, and that was really, they just made a really big run in that first quarter, that opened it up. So it was just really kind of, just communicating, getting back, like, hey, guard anybody. Don't just find your man. Like, guard anybody, build a wall, try to contain that, and then get them into half court where, then, we got him back there, and we got Tristan and Tane really putting a lot of pressure on the ball. So it actually wasn't as much of a schematic adjustment. It was more just a focus to what we talked about coming into the game, and just ramping up the effort. Like, we're not playing a lot of guys. We're traveling a lot. Like, I feel like I don't want to say we're hanging on by a thread a little bit, but some of these starts are, just like guys are tired, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get into the game, and you give up a little, you start forcing it. So we're just like talked about just being poised. We don't have to get it all back right away. Let's go win the first 3 minutes of the quarter. I thought our response coming out of halftime was, exactly what we needed.
Like you said at the start, Stu, I mean, we could go down the entire list of everybody that contributed, but Lamar's a fascinating one. He comes up massive for you tonight, and the last 2 buckets of the game for you as well, but he's in an interesting position where he knows that once you get a new player, he won't be playing for you either, but gee, he's a nice player to have as a backup right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I've said it multiple times, like, Lamar's a pro. He's experienced in this league. He understands key moments of when plays need to be made. He's a total professional in like how he's gone about all this, and we're really thankful he's part of our group.
Tyrell, how do you enjoy your matchups with Sam? I mean, it's an interesting history that you're building against each other. Now we've got a couple of those halves where I go back to that first game in Perth last year and tonight as well, but you've had some big games against him as well, and you had a great second half tonight. How do you enjoy your battles with him? Yeah,
it's good. Like, I know him pretty well. We've done a couple Tall Blacks campaigns together. So, but I'm pretty sure I said it after the Perth game, or for the Perth game. Like, I enjoy playing against talented bigs. Like, right now, we have some of the best bigs in the world, really, and I find it. Like, I enjoy the challenge, and every game I look forward to battling against just the bigs in this league. But yeah, it's always fun playing against Sam. We always compete hard, play hard, really test each other, but at the end it's like just fun.
You mentioned the Tall Blacks there. Can you put yourself in Tane's shoes as well? How do you think he'll be feeling right now coming back home and playing well and getting a win on this floor?
Yeah, he'd be over the moon. Like, again, like, this is his home gym. He grew up around these parts. Playing in front of his friends and family would mean a lot to him. And yeah, super proud of how he performed and how he handled this game. And yeah.
That's the last one from me, Stu. You talked about how these starts are a little bit, down to tiredness. I mean, you've now got a lightning quick turnaround to the early game on Saturday. How do you try to make sure that you come out as fresh as possible?
Yeah, I mean, we'll ride the momentum of being 500 on the road right now and having a 3-game homestand. I don't think we've been home for that long since training camp. So there's a lot of excitement to get in front of our fans, at the Brisbane Entertainment Center, and play in front of our family who, it's like been ships in the night a little bit, with all the travel. So, we wanted to get this one real bad and threw everything we had at it, and we'll deal with Saturday when we get to Saturday.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's all good. Cheers.
Thank you, guys. Good job, man.
Yep.